Hi everyone, I'm Lauren James and I am here today to show you some tips and tricks on how to learn multiplication facts in under 15 minutes. First, we're going to talk about the number 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Here are some example problems. We have 3 times 0 equaling 0, 0 times 7 equaling 0, and we can even do big numbers like 855 times 0 equaling 0. Now on the right side in this black box are some example problems for you to practice. At the end of this video, there will be an answer key so you can check your work, pause the video and try out the problems, and then you can continue on. Next, we have 1. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself. So for example, we have 3 times 1 equaling 3, 8 times 1 equaling 8, and 735 times 1 equaling 735. And then here are your example problems: 5 times 1, 11 times 1, and 1 times 1. Number 2. Anything multiplied by 2 is that number doubled. You can think of this like addition. So our example problems are 2 times 4, which you can think of as 4 plus 4, which equals 8. Then you have 5 times 2, which you can think of as 5 plus 5 equaling 10. And then 6 times 2, which is 12. And here are your example problems: 3 times 2, 7 times 2, and 12 times 2. Next, we have the number 3. Anything multiplied by 3 is the number doubled added to itself. For example, 3 times 4 is 4 plus 4, which equals 8, and then you add it to itself, which is 4. So you add 4 to that, and that equals 12. We can do this also for 7 times 3, which would be 7 plus 7, which equals 14, and then you add that to itself again, which is 7, equaling 21. And then for the last problem, we have 3 times 3, which is 3 plus 3, which is 6, plus 3, which is 9. So as we can see, we can do a lot of our multiplication facts with addition. Here are example problems. You have 8 times 3, 6 times 3, and 2 times 3. We have number 4. So anything multiplied by 4 is the number doubled twice. So 3 times 4, your number would be 3. So you would take that and double it. 3 plus 3, which is 6. And then after that, you would add that to itself again. So 6 plus 6, because that's doubling it. And that would give you 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And then you can do that for the next problem, which is 7 times 4. So you would take 7 plus 7, which is 14, and you would add another 14, which gives you 28. And then lastly, for 5 times 4, you get 5 plus 5, which is 10, and then 10 plus 10, which is 20. Here are your example problems. You have 8 times 4, 6 times 4, and 4 times 4. Number 5. So anything multiplied by 5 will end in a 0 or a 5. We can think about skip counting. Many of you have already learned how to skip count, and pretty much it's just counting like this: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So here are some problems that we will do together. We have 3 times 5. So I normally use my hand, so I would go 5, 10, 15. For that, we have 3 times 5 equaling 15. Then 6 times 5 equaling 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then we have 5 times 5 equaling 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And we can notice that the odd numbers answers will end in a 5. So in our example, we had 3 times 5, which is an odd number, equaling 15, and 5 times 5 equaling 25. And then the even numbers will end in a 0, 6 times 5 equaling 30. So that's a good way to check your work to make sure you didn't miscount. Here are your example problems. You have 8 times 5, 4 times 5, and 7 times 5. Nines. Nines are my absolute favorite. My teacher taught us our 9 facts on our fingers, which is the rule I'm going to show you. And it was the day I realized that I love math, and it's a memory that has stuck with me forever. So we're going to use the finger rule. You need to put your hands out like this, just like it showed on the screen. Normally I look at the top of my hands, not the palms. You'll think of your fingers as numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to practice some problems together. First, we'll start off with doing 4 times 9. So what you're going to do is you want to find your fourth finger and you want to bend it. After you've bent your fourth finger, the fingers on the left are going to be the tens. So you'll have 10, 20, 30, and on the right are your ones. So you'll have 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can also do this for 6 times 9. We will find our sixth finger, which is this one, put it down, and then you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4. And then for 5 times 9, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that one down. The ones to the left are your 10s. So you have 10, 20, 30, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 45. And then here are your example problems. You have 9 times 9, 7 times 9, and 2 times 9. Next we have the tens. So anything multiplied by 10 is the number with 0 added to the end of it. So these ones are pretty easy and fun. So our number in this case would be 7, and all you would do is add a 0 to it. And then the next one, our number's 9, because the other number, and then you add a 0 to it, so 90. And then 12 times 10, do the same thing. You just write 12, and then you add a 0 to it. These are your example problems. You have 8 times 10, 6 times 10, and 4 times 10. 11s. Anything multiplied by 11 is the number written twice, which I think is pretty cool. 8 times 11, all you do is write your number, which is 8, twice. So 8 times 11 is going to be 88. Then in the next problem, you have 6 times 11, so you just write 6 twice, so you'll have 66. The next problem, you'll have 4 times 11, which is 44. I miswrote this, so this is supposed to be an 11. Your example problems are 7 times 11, which you'll figure out. You have 9 times 11 and 3 times 11. 6, 7s, and 8s. These ones don't really fit into any of the rules we've talked about. So the multiplication problems that we haven't done are 6 times 8, 7 times 8, 6 times 6, 6 times 7, and 7 times 7. So for 2 of them, I actually have a cool little trick. So for 6 times 8, I always think of it as 6 times 8 is 48. We also have 7 times 8, and for this one, I think of it as like the counting fact. And the reason for that is because the answer is actually 56. If the answer is 56, you can think of it as 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's why it's called the counting one, because you would count in order 5, 6, 7, 8, even though the numbers are like flip-flopped. So 6 times 8 is 48 because of the jingle, and 7 times 8 is 56 from the counting rule. Some other facts: 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42, and 7 times 7 is 49. Those three are probably the most challenging to remember, so all you need to do is try to just practice them a lot of times. Lastly, we have 12s. So there are two ways that you can solve a 12 multiplication fact. The first one is you do 11 times and then you add it with itself. And then the second one is you do 10 times and add it with 2 times. These might not make a lot of sense right now, but we're going to do an example together. We have 7 times 12 and 9 times 12. For the first way that you can solve this, you're going to do 7 times 11 first. And we know that that's going to be 77 because you just write the number twice. And then you're going to take 77 and add it with itself. So 7 plus 77, which is 84. For the second way, you start by doing 10 times. So you would do 7 times 10, which is 70, and 7 times 2, which is just 7 doubled, which is 14. And then you add them together, and you also get 84. So I think these are the two easiest ways to solve a 12 multiplication fact. Either one works. I personally like doing the bottom one because I like multiplying by 10. We also can do 9 times 12 together. We will do 9 times 10, which equals 90. And then we will do 9 times 2, which is 18. And when we add them together, we get 108. And you will get the same answer if you do it the first way. Here are your example problems. You have 8 times 12, 6 times 12, and 4 times 12. Lastly, here's your answer key. Make sure you check your work. Make sure you attempted these problems before just looking to the answer key. I promise it will help you in the long run. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. This is actually my first official YouTube video, so if you could share this to anyone you know that you think would be useful to, that would be great. I'm trying to educate as many students as I can around the world. Also, subscribe to my channel for weekly education posts. I have a math joke for you all. Why shouldn't you let math intimidate you? Because it's really as easy as pie. Get it?